Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another What's for Dinner video. I'm super excited you're here today because I have 4 dinner ideas as well as a breakfast / dessert bread that you are going to want to try. So first up, I'm just going to be making a simple taco dinner that turned out really delicious. Next up, I'm going to be sharing a breakfast for dinner, so pancakes and breakfast burritos with all the fixings. Next, I'm making a delicious lemongrass basil chicken as well as a cod in Swiss chard and tomato sauce. Next, I'm going to be sharing the copycat Starbucks recipe for pumpkin bread, really delicious for a dessert or a breakfast. And then lastly is a savory couscous salad, and this can be used as a lunch meal prep or you can use it for a side dish for dinner as well. Okay, so before we get started with the recipes, I want to let you guys know that this What's for Dinner video is sponsored by Thrive Market. You guys know that I've worked with them in the past. I love working with them, and even if I did not work with them here on YouTube, I would still definitely order from them. They package things ever so nicely. I've never had anything arrive broken. Thrive is an online marketplace that makes healthy living affordable, and what I like about them is that I can find specialty ingredients on their site that I can't get around here. And so I'm going to share with you guys a grocery haul that I got from them. A lot of these ingredients I'm going to be using in these recipes. Their app is super easy to use if you've never tried it before. I love ordering from it. It makes it super convenient. You can sit on the couch, order your groceries, and they have super fast shipping as well. And the other thing I like is that they offer free shipping on orders over $49. So it's super easy to get things delivered right to your door for zero shipping, even heavy items that you might pay more in shipping from elsewhere. Okay, so here are the things that I ordered this time, and I actually really like also that you can filter on their site by new items. So it's super easy to find things that are new that you may not have tried before. So I did grab these grain-free crispy taco shells. We're gonna do taco night with these one night. My sister also uses Thrive, and she said these are really good. I want to mention too that she's a single mom and she grocery shops on a budget, and she really likes it. So I just want to dispel the misconception that, you know, it might be expensive or something. It's not. You really can get great prices on there, you know, better prices on specialty ingredients than you would get in the grocery store. I also got some more of this 4 Sigmatic adaptogen coffee mix. I tried this before in a different flavor and I really liked it. It's sort of like an instant coffee, but it has like a creamy taste to it. I was excited to see that Thrive had the 4 Sigmatic on their website, so I'm excited to try this one. I also decided to try this strawberry fruit spread. I feel like I've had this before, but I can't remember if I ordered this or the mixed berry. Either way, it's really good, and I was all out of strawberry jelly, so I needed that. I also got a couple cans of organic peeled tomatoes. It's hard in my area to find like quality, like real Italian San Marzano tomatoes. I don't know that these are San Marzano, but they are higher quality than like the Hunts or something like that. So I grabbed those. I also got a couple of these Purely Elizabeth collagen protein oats. These actually have nut butter in them. They come in a 2-pack on the website. They are blueberry walnut. I like to take oatmeal to work just because it's a quick breakfast for those mornings when I am busy. I got the kids these bars. This Saves Lives Kids. These are the S'mores Blast. These are also school safe, so they are nut free. That's another great thing about their site, is that if you're looking for snacks that your kids can take to school, you can filter by all of these values, and it makes it super easy to find things that they can take with them. This is also something new that I'm looking forward to trying. It is a classic buffalo seasoning. It's actually like a dry rub. So I was thinking that I could do this on some chicken and have it with a salad. I thought that would be good. This is also new. The Fix and Fog dark chocolate peanut butter. I thought this sounded really good, and my kids really like Nutella, so I thought we would try that. I also picked up some almond extract just because I typically use this throughout the holiday season and I was all out. Okay, so I was super excited to see preserved lemons on their site. I've never been able to find these in the stores around me, and there are some recipes like in some of my specialty cookbooks that call for these, and so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make with these yet, but I was excited to find them on the site. Okay, we've already gone through half this bag, but I wanted to share it with you guys. It's the Thrive Market Pumpkin Spice Coffee. If you get anything and you want to try them out, make sure you get this. It's delicious. It's really good coffee. It's not too strong of a pumpkin spice flavor, so we really enjoyed that. We also tried these Union pepperoni crisps. They are basically like pieces of crispy pepperoni. If you're on a keto or low carb diet, I would definitely recommend these. They'll kind of satisfy that crispy craving without having chips or something like that. I also got some corn grits or polenta. This is also another thing, surprisingly, that I cannot find around here, so I was happy to get it from Thrive. And I also wanted to try this Purely Elizabeth Ancient Grain Pancake Mix. I thought that looked good, so I thought we would try that for breakfast for dinner. We're also going to have this one night. This is the lemongrass basil simmer sauce. My sister actually tried this and said it was really good, so I thought we would too. And then I also got some mirin. This is rice cooking wine. This is another thing that I just can't find around here, and so every time I have a recipe that calls for it, I'm like, dang it. But I saw it on their site and I thought I would grab that. And then last but not least, oh, actually we got chips too, but we ate those. They were barbecue chips and they were delicious. I got some dried garbanzo beans for the pantry. So that is everything that I got from Thrive for this grocery haul. You guys will see me use some of these ingredients in this video. And if you guys want to try out Thrive Market, you can choose a free gift up to a $24 value when you join. So I'll leave the link in the description box below. You can choose your membership term. For me, I go with the 12-month membership because it's less than $5 a month, and I order from them several times a month anyway. But they also have a month-to-month membership, and it's 30 days risk-free, so you can try it without risk, and you can obviously choose the membership that fits your lifestyle. Okay, so first up, we are starting out with taco night. Yes, everyone loves taco night and no one complains about it. If you haven't tried this taco seasoning from Thrive Market, definitely consider adding it to your order. It's really good. I like to use 1 packet of taco seasoning to 2 pounds of ground beef, so I just browned that up, added it to the beef with some water, and then I'm just going to let that simmer. These grain-free taco shells from Thrive were also super good. Everyone in the family loved them. They baked up super crispy and it turned out really good. So you guys can tell me in the comments below, are you team crunchy or team soft taco? Personally, I love a good crispy taco, but I really won't turn down any taco. Let's be honest here. Next, I'm going to work on my toppings. So I'm just using a really sharp knife to cut up some tomatoes. Connor really loves tomatoes on his taco. Personally, I would just use salsa, but I decided on this night to just go ahead and get out all the fixins and chop them up. So once the tomatoes were chopped up, I'm going to move on to some onion. Adam is really the only one that likes onion on his taco, but I always try to make some up for him. And bonus, if you chop up onion and cilantro and tomatoes for your tacos, you can also make pico de gallo with your leftovers and stick it in the fridge, which is what I did. You guys will also have to let me know what you like on your tacos. Do you use salsa or hot sauce or sour cream? My kids actually are very different in what they like. Kira just likes plain like meat and taco shell. That's it. She doesn't even like cheese on her tacos, which is ridiculous, I know. Connor likes everything. So here were all the toppings that I had set out. We had sour cream, tomato, cheese, some shredded lettuce, some salsa, taco sauce, cilantro, onions, and then I also heated up some queso along with some chips. I always like to have that on the side. And then I also made some soft tacos for those that wanted them, and I just like to put those in a dry skillet and just warm them up. I also had my crispy shells that I baked just for about 5 minutes and my refried beans. Okay, so next up is breakfast for dinner. I am going to make a bunch of things tonight, and we're going to use some of it for meal prep for breakfast for the week. So the first thing I'm doing is cooking up a bag of hash browns, and these are super quick to make, obviously, because all you have to do is throw them in a pan with some butter and oil. I season them really good with salt and pepper. And that's it. I'm going to actually use these for filling for the breakfast burritos as well. So I'm going to brown up some sausage, and while that's browning up, I am going to bake some bacon in the oven. I had a few packs of bacon that just had a few strips left in them and wanted to get those used up. So I put those on a rack, and I like to bake this in the oven. Usually I put it at 425 for about 20 minutes, but you can definitely cook it to your liking if you like crispier bacon. I'm going to use my meat chopper to break up my ground sausage and saute that up. Any of the cooking tools that I use in this video, I always try and leave those linked down below. So if you're curious, check the description box. So now we're going to try out this Purely Elizabeth ancient grain pancake mix, and this was really good. I was kind of skeptical because it's more of like a wheat based pancake, and I was like, oh, my kids aren't going to like this, but they actually really did like it. So all you need to mix with this is oil, water, and egg. And I actually added just a few tablespoons of sugar to it and some almond extract, which made it really, really good. So then once that was mixed up, I let it sit, and I'm actually going to use the same skillet that I used for the sausage to cook my pancakes. So when that was done, I removed it, wiped it out, and I'm also going to cook my eggs in the same skillet. I've talked to people before about making breakfast, and I think one of the things that people find most challenging about making like a large breakfast meal is just having everything done at the same time. And I think that's something that people struggle with, but the only way to get better at it is just to keep doing it over and over until you perfect it. So here's what those pancakes look like. They do get a little bit more brown than traditional pancakes, but they taste really good. So definitely try out that mix if you haven't before and you're looking for a healthier pancake. So now I'm going to prep some breakfast burritos. We did eat a couple of these for dinner, but then I just went ahead and made the whole package of tortillas because I wanted to have them in the fridge for meal prep. I like to crisp up my burritos in a dry skillet. That just kind of helps them stay sealed and the contents don't fall out. So here's what we had on this night. We had those grain pancakes, really good. We had the breakfast burritos and eggs and hash browns, and Murphy was begging for some too. Okay, so I have to say, this was like the oddest compilation of dinner that we had this week, and I actually have something funny about this. So I showed you guys this lemongrass basil chicken sauce that I got in my Thrive order, which, by the way, if you haven't tried that, get it. It's totally delicious. My sister was the one that told me about that. So I went ahead and sauteed up some chicken breast in my skillet, and this is optional. You don't have to add veggies, but I had a red pepper in the refrigerator, so I went ahead and cut that into strips and added that as well. So what I ended up doing was making this as a meal prep the night before we were going to eat it. I put it in the fridge, and then I came home the following day to cook dinner. I made some rice. I was making a fish recipe that I had just because I had the fish in the fridge and I wanted to use it up. And then I was going to make some dumplings and some carrots, and so we were just kind of having an odd, like, throw it together dinner. And lo and behold, I went into the fridge to get the lemongrass chicken, and Adam had eaten it for lunch. I was like, oh my gosh, you ate the chicken? He's like, I didn't know. So we had no chicken. But anyway, we figured it out. So I cooked some rice in the Instant Pot. I always love cooking my brown rice, or white rice for that matter, in the Instant Pot. So I'll leave a link for the recipe I use in the description box below. But then I'm going to get started on this cod with Swiss chard. So this was just a meal kit that I had, and I wanted to get it used up. So I'm dicing up some white onion, and I'm going to saute that in a nonstick skillet. And basically for this recipe, you make like a tomato and greens sauce, and then the fish simmers on top of it. I can't say that it was our favorite. I thought it was okay. The kids definitely did not care for it, and Adam did not try any of it. So anyway, I had to give Adam a hard time about eating all the chicken, because then Then we had to go to plan B, which ended up being like some peanut butter sandwiches and some yogurt for the kids. And it was all just kind of a mishmash, but that's fine. That's what happens. So this is some Swiss chard that I'm going to cut up, and then I'm going to wash it in my salad spinner. If you've never cooked with Swiss chard before, I would definitely recommend it. I actually have a vegan enchilada recipe that uses Swiss chard that's really good. I think I made that in a video, so I'll try to find it and link it in the description box below if you want to watch that, but it's a very easy green to cook with. So I went ahead and sauteed my veggies, and then I added the Swiss chard in. I stirred that around. I added a little bit of water and some tomato sauce, seasoned it with salt and pepper. And once the greens cooked down a little bit, then I just added 2 sort of like cod fillets right on top. Then I seasoned with salt and pepper, and then I covered that and just simmered it for about 8 minutes so that the fish could cook through. Like I said, I also had some dumplings in the freezer to cook up, so I went ahead and crisped and steamed those up in another nonstick skillet. So we had that, and here was the rice when it's done. If you guys have never tried making rice in the Instant Pot, it is so easy. I was going to buy a rice cooker like many years ago, and then I just decided that the Instant Pot does a really good job. So here's what that cod looked like, and then I also roasted up some carrots in the air fryer with olive oil, salt, and pepper. So yeah, this is a really odd dinner. We had fish and rice and dumplings and carrots, but you know, sometimes you just can't win them all, right? And you got to eat peanut butter sandwiches. That's just how it works sometimes. Okay, so next up is a Starbucks copycat recipe for pumpkin bread. So I'm going to start out with 4 eggs in the bowl of my stand mixer. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 1 cup of regular white sugar. I'm going to mix that up, and then I'll add some vegetable oil and some pumpkin and some vanilla. This is a recipe that I've had in my recipe binder for quite some time now, and I've made it several times. The only thing I would say is that maybe next time I would add a little bit of cinnamon. I think that gives it better, like a better fall flavor. You'll see in this particular recipe, I didn't add any, and I just had a piece of it this morning, and I kind of wished I would have. But as far as like the moistness and the texture of the bread, it's really good. Next, I'm going to need 3/4 cups of canned pumpkin. If you're looking for canned pumpkin and you can't find it in your grocery store, they have had it on Thrive's website, so check that out. I'm going to mix that together, and that's it for the wet ingredients. And then for the dry ingredients, it's just traditional flour, a little bit of salt, baking powder, and baking soda. And then I just mixed that up until it was just combined. Don't overmix it. And then I have a loaf pan that I sprayed with cooking spray, and then I just put a parchment paper sling in there, pour the batter in, bake that. You can bake it for about 70 minutes. I always find with quick breads that depending on the recipe, it takes anywhere from an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. You kind of just have to keep checking it. You obviously don't want it to be overdone, but you want it to be cooked through. So here that pumpkin bread is. Definitely try this recipe. I'll link it down below. Okay, last but not least is this really unique recipe for a couscous salad. So to start out, I have a baking tray, and I'm going to season up some garbanzo beans and some chopped up carrots. Drizzle those with olive oil and roast those in the oven. I also cooked up some Israeli couscous. If you've never cooked with that before, it's just a larger grain of couscous, and it makes really good salads. So while all that was working, I'm going to make the dressing for the salad. So I zested 1 lemon into the bowl, and then I'm squeezing the juice of the lemon. Next, I'm going to add some olive oil, some za'atar spice, I think is how you say it. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Some salt and some pepper. And then also really unique flavors in this salad. There is parsley, mint, and some dates and some radishes. Now, bear with me because this sounds like an odd combination, but it is seriously so delicious. I actually just had some of this for lunch today, and I would totally recommend it. Like I said, you can make this for a lunch, for meal prep. You can make it as a side for dinner. It does meal prep really well. Any type of this like Israeli couscous salad always holds up really well in the fridge. And I think that the addition of the dates is very unique as well. I would never have thought to put dates in a salad, but it worked out really well. So once I got all of those components into the bowl with the dressing, I went ahead and put my couscous in there. I had drained this and rinsed it with cool water. I gave that a mix, and then I'm adding the chickpeas along with the roasted carrots. And that's it. You can see these were still a little bit hot when I added them, but I did stir this up and then stuck it in the fridge for later use. I'll try to post a link to this recipe down below too if I can find it, but definitely try it out if you're looking for something different for a meal prep lunch. I topped it with some pecans and took it to work with me the next day for lunch. So that is going to wrap it up for this week's What's for Dinner. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out the link in the description box below. You can get a free gift from Thrive Market if you try them out. I would totally recommend it. Thanks again for your support as always, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.